Hello, hello, hello. Happy Woman Winning Wednesday. Today is all about words of wisdom and celebrating women who win. I love these days on Wednesday because it definitely gives a boost in the middle of the week, whether you were dragging, need some inspo. Women Winning Wednesdays is the place to be. I'm Lauren Elsey, known as the Gut Health Bestie. I'm also the founder of Hervival, and I coach women of color to prioritize spiritual well-being and gut health for vibrant, healthy, and happy lives. You can learn more about us and everything we do at Hervival at Hervival, HERVIVAL.co. I am also giving a huge shout out to Leah J of Black Girls Do. We bring these words of wisdom over in her club as well on Clubhouse. So if you do want to join me on the stage, we do open up the floor towards the end as far as anybody who wants to celebrate. You can always share there. So how does words of wisdom for people who are new? Welcome. And what is Words of Wisdom Winning Wednesday is about. So Winning Wednesday is a theme for Hervival. We have curated events catered to helping women to win. So Words of Wisdom is one of them, just to give you some a boost of words to help encourage you. So it may be we have a special guest, like a last Women Winning Wednesday, we had a special guest. Shout out to Malira Green, who's a therapist and has spoke about the inclusivity of self-love. And then I may use inserts from a book. I may share words of wisdom. I may use segments from a podcast, a TED Talk, so many things that is always encouraging. So if you like words of encouragement, words of wisdom, you are on a big journey, you're playing a big game, and you need to be in environments and ecosystems that's always fueling you, definitely every Wednesday, check us out. Follow Hervival, be a part of the community, especially if you are a holistic wellness seeker looking to revive your mind, body, and spirit. So I want to give shout outs to those who are in the room. If you're here, just say, hey, let me know where you're tuning in from so I can give you a shout out. I really believe it's important that you are seen, you are heard, you take up space, and I'm going to acknowledge you and take up space. So hello to Josh, Charmaine, Janetta, Tia, Chanel, Julius. Thank you so much for popping in and listening in. I would love to know where you're tuning in from. So words of wisdom for today. I usually have a clip, but I got something a little different for y'all. So I don't think I've ever shared this here, but back in the day, I had a podcast called Thrive Abundantly. It's still on. We have the Thrive Abundantly TV. So the shows are still on YouTube, my old YouTube channel. The Thrive Abundantly podcast episodes is still on wherever you listen to podcasts. So I'm actually taking a page from one of my old podcasts, and I think it's so important to revisit, because even though this was years ago, like maybe 2017 to 18, those words still hit home for me. I am a thriving entrepreneur. I'm always growing. I'm always expanding. So this is why words of wisdom is so important, because when you're playing a big game and you're continuously on your journey to grow, to thrive, to win, we have to have times that we, praise ourselves, we celebrate ourselves. So there was 8 major keys that I shared on one of the podcasts of embracing your journey when you are thriving. So the words of wisdom today is going to be centered around that. There's a few things I made some tweaks to, but it's based on a old podcast. So I'm not going to play any clips today. I'm just going to talk through the 8 major keys. And if any of these keys are really hitting home for you, whether you are here live or listen to the replay, I want to see those keys emojis. Drop a key, just to let me know that this is hitting home. I like to always hear what really resonates, what hits home for people. If it was something inspirational, what you want to hear more of. And then towards the end, we're going to share some wins. It's really important that we take time to honor ourselves, celebrate our wins outside of accolades. A lot of times we only celebrate ourselves if it's like wins of money, as far as in business, wins for our children and others. But I've been doing, I have been speaking and doing these words of wisdoms, Woman Winning Wednesday, for like 2 years now. And I talk to a lot of women, and I notice they do not share a win for themselves. They can't think of it. They're not the first to celebrate it. So it's and very intentional when I do that, because how can we, when we don't cheer ourselves on, when we don't take up space to be like, oh, I'm proud of myself, no matter how big or small. I'm proud of myself that I never quit. I'm proud of myself I made my bed every morning. I'm proud of myself that I went to the gym. Things that took care of you. That's what we're all about in Hervival. At Hervival, we're really, really adamant on making sure that we create and cultivate a space for women to pour into themselves. So at Hervival, we aim to like enhance the adaptability, the sustainability of utilizing where self-care is your main point of practice. So, we focus on mindfulness, self-care, and gut health in our community for women of color, but we really focus on providing resources, but also making sure that we set a space that you celebrate yourself. So that's why at the end of these, I brought back as far as sharing your wins about you. What did you do to pour into you? What did you do to keep yourself going? So if you want to share that, stay towards the end, but let me drop these 8 keys. If you're ready for these 8 keys, put a hands up emoji. Let me know that you're ready to hear these. All right, because I'm sure words of wisdom, the acronym is WOW. I'm sure this could wow you, right? So again, I'm checking the chat. I want to see those keys. Okay, I see those hands emojis. We're live in multiple spaces, so thank you for those who are commenting and sharing. All right, so let's get started. The 8 major keys to be able to help you to continue to go and grow is 1, use your failure as fuel. All right. A lot of times we run away from failure. We work really hard to avoid failure. However, there's so much lessons in the failure. So use your failure as fuel. Every failure is an experiment. Understand that. Every failure is an experiment. All right. Use your failure as fuel to continue to ignite that fire. Every failure gives data. So if you are not afraid of failing, you're continuing to be mindful that failure is a good thing, because failure is an experiment to help you to grow, and you're going to use that as fuel. Drop a fire emoji. All right. Use your fuel as failure. Understand, every inventor, everybody who is doing something and growing and starting something new, whether it's somebody who did it before or you never did it before, it takes time, right? It takes 10,000 hours, they say, to be a master. Thomas Edison, he lit the light bulb, and they said that he did it 10,000 times. But hello, this is Black History Month. Let's give a shout out to Michael C. Harvey, who actually created the lantern, or Garrett Morgan, who created the traffic light. Okay. Let's speak about how those inventors, I'm sure that they also failed 1,000 times to be able to light the lantern or get the traffic light to start. So understand that failure is a good thing, because it gives you data. It gives you, it's an experiment. It lets you know. So the important thing is really to tie into the journey of the process, and just be in the process, not the end game. All right. So number 1 major key is use your failure as fuel. Number 2 is keep uplifted. All right. Use an attitude of gratitude. Remain positive energy. Inside Hervival, in our community, we have challenges for every season, right? Because we believe if we really connect, we're a spiritual space in the community, right? So we believe as long as we connect more with the way God created our seasons, that even though there's global warming, but we believe that if you really look outside your window and really go into the seasons of, like, fall loses its leaves. So it's all about shedding to get ready for the season ahead. Winter is all about restoring, slowing down, hibernation. This is where it's a great time to really pour into your soul, get the seeds that's planted within you, dig up weeds, stuff like that. So winter, in her Bible, in our community, we really focus on the winter awakening. And one of our daily morning tasks is gratitude. So every one of our challenges always hones in on reviving the mind, the body, and the spirit. So, one of our spirit aspects of the challenge for the winter awakening is a gratitude list, writing down 5 to 10 things you're grateful for, because as long as there's always going to be something wrong. If you understand universal laws, law of polarity means there's always going to be good, there's always going to be bad. A lot of us fight so hard because we're trying to avoid these things, like the bad things, from happening. But like I said, use your failure as fuel. Use these things to be able to help you to know what you enjoy, what you don't enjoy, what you like. But there's always lessons, there's always shaping and molding. So like I said, as far as in her Bible, in our community, we have the gratitude list, so we can always start the day being grateful for what's working, what's going well for us, even the smallest things. So number 2 major key is keep uplifted. Use an attitude of gratitude and always remain positive. Keep the positive energy. Because guess what? The things that's not working, the things that drain you, will be right there waiting for you to put attention to it. And what you give energy to grows, right? So if you definitely start off with the things that you're grateful for, the things that's going well, the things that you're already being grateful, like even if we have failure sitting right there waiting for us to wake up to, we're grateful that we have the new day, the new energy to restore, to work on it. We're already grateful for those failures to work, right? So if you stay in the sense of the attitude of gratitude, this helps to give more energy to the things that you're grateful for. So again, keep uplifted, have an attitude of gratitude, and remain positive energy. All right. So number 3 of the 8 major keys to be able to continue to grow and flourish is to ditch self-made mentality. Whew. I definitely think, especially for us who grew up listening, well, I would say more in recent years, because I don't really think back in the day, I'm an 80s baby. I don't think back in the day I heard self-made used so much than, of current times in the last like 10, 15 years. But let go of that self-made mentality. Of course, we want to big up ourselves. Like Rick Ross used that a lot. I'm self-made. However, he got a team. There's no such thing as self-made. Don't let it fool you. You know what I mean? Because you need people. And as long as you go in this self-made mentality and build yourself up, you can get places. They always say, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far and really focus on sustainability, go together, build a tribe, get a team, get support, because as humans, we're only one person. We can go but so far. So ditch the self-made mentality. Okay. Really latch on to a community, to people to uplift you, support you, learn how to ask for help. Ooh, let that sizzle in the spirit. That was something I had to learn. I've been an entrepreneur now 13 years. I've been super consistent in the health, wellness, and fitness industry, starting out as a fitness trainer, now being a health coach, life coach today. And for the last consistent of 11 years, right? And that was something I definitely had to learn, of being able to ask for help. Y'all, I said I've been an entrepreneur for a solid 13 years. I just started learning to ask for help like maybe around 2019. I had an injury. I couldn't walk. I couldn't do a lot. And that experience, like I said, embrace the failures, right? Let it use you as fuel. I was a fitness trainer then, and that was a big failure. Like, that's a trainer's worst nightmare, is to injure your knee. You can't walk. I couldn't walk for a good solid 8-9 months. And I think that had to happen. I had to break. God has his ways of breaking you down to build you up. I had to be broke down so much so I can ask for help. That was the hardest thing. And I'm so grateful for that, because the company I have today, that I see being a very well multi-million dollar company, Hervival, it was birthed a couple years after that injury. And I realized I'm now good, and I'm continuing to use that muscle to ask for help. I had to learn that in that time, right before this whole download of starting Hervival. So be ditch the self-made mentality. That's the third major key. If these keys are hitting home for you, use the chat, put a key down, let me know. But ditch that self-made mentality. Be willing to ask for help, get the support that you need. And you know, your vibe will attract your tribe. So one of the things, reason why I was afraid to ask for help, because I experienced many disappointments. I didn't want people to use things against me. I didn't want, when I was down, for people to use that against me. However, when I focused on the gratitude list and focused on the things I do want versus focusing on things I don't want, I started to attract the right people who didn't do that. So, you know, you, like I said, keep that positive, keep uplifted, keep that gratitude list, focus on the things that you do want. Let go and ditch that self-made mentality. Be willing to ask for help and pour into yourself. The more that you pour, what if I tell you, the more that you pour into yourself, the more that you create the reality that you want, and your mind don't get in the way of you attracting the things that you don't want. You work on who you become who you want to have in your life, whether that is friendships, partnerships, clients, customers, partners, all of those things, husbands, wives, whatever. You become that, right? And then you start to attract that. You have that around your life. And the more I started to pour into myself, the more I started to revive my mind, body, and spirit, the more the things that I started to desire, the life that I started wanting to create, the people I wanted to attract, the community I started wanting to be a part of, started to happen. So I'm a living testament of it. And let me tell you again, ditch that self-made mentality, because even if a physical person is not here helping you and you built everything up on your own, understand you had a whole spiritual team on the side of you that helped you uplift it. So you never can really do it on your own. All right, I'm about to go to church, but let me keep going. Out of the 8 major keys, we dropped 3 so far. The 4th major key is to build your network by aiming high. All right. I used to be in network marketing for some years, and one of the things that they always taught us, you know, say what you want with MLMs and, you know, pyramid schemes, all that stuff. The mindset, I mean, I really think a lot of the things that I've learned being in these different companies, because the mindset is a game changer, and it really helped me today to build myself as an entrepreneur, a business owner, and having my own business. But one of the things that they taught was, when you're feeling down, you're feeling discouraged, when you're down, call up, meaning, like, you know, you call your uplines. I started to use that in my own life. When I'm down, I call up to people who could pour into me, whether that was a mentor, you know, my prayer warrior friends, my mom, you know, I was not afraid to call up to be uplifted when I'm feeling down. All right. So build your network by aiming high. Get around people who know more than you. Get around people who are at or going towards the spaces where you want to go, because you're gonna need those mentors when you're growing and playing a bigger game in life. It's because you're gonna feel down, you're gonna feel discouraged, and you need people to call up when you're feeling down. And guess what? When you get up there, then you can be able to pour into those who are also feeling down, to be built back up. All right. So, I mean, prime example, I wouldn't have been able to, if I didn't do these things that I'm sharing, I wouldn't be able to share these 8 major keys, you know, and learn the things that I did. So this goes back to major key number 1 of failure. I used my failure as fuel. So I used it as an experiment to learn, to record my process, to be mindful of these things, so I could be able to come across gems, you know, and help cut the learning curve of some people. However, we can't, that whole cut the learning curve, sometimes we need that learning curve to grow. All right. Number 5 is to make Health your priority. Hello, I am a health and wellness coach. I am not gonna, and everything, like I say, is about revive your mind, body, spirit. We are all about the Trinity of three, because you can't have a strong spirit if you don't take care of your body and move your body, right? You can't just focus on mindset and then you're not, really pouring into your spiritual self. Wherever religion, there we are a spirit before there was even any known names of religion, right? So whatever it is of higher intelligence and the power, if you just sit here and focus on like mindset and all those things, but you're not pouring into the spiritual aspect of that and taking care of your body, eating well, healthy, all those things, you can't grow. Health is wealth, right? Your biggest investment is pouring into you. So make health your priority, because it's going to help give you fuel, energize you, give you the sustainability to be able to fulfill all of the paths ahead of you. All right, let me refresh the room real quick. You are tuning into Words of Wisdom Winning Wednesday. I'm Lauren LC. I am the founder of Revival. I'm a gut health bestie, and I coach women on prioritizing spiritual well-being and gut health as a certified digestive health coach for vibrant, healthy, and happy lives. You can learn more about me and the Revival community at Hervival, HERVIVAL.co. And if you want to subscribe to our list to get parts of our newsletter, learn about when these Words of Wisdom events are going on, and many other things that we have coming up, you can go to the link that's at the top here. For those, for Rita, Queen, Shami, I hope I said your name right. You can go to the link to subscribe to our newsletter, or just go to hervival.co/subscribe to get access to wellness tips, events that we have. We have a mindfulness event that's coming up on the third Wednesday of February. I believe that's February 20th or 21st, whatever that Wednesday is, at 1:00. We have our mindfulness event. So if you are someone who are struggling with meditating, you're struggling with calming your mind, you're looking for work-life harmony and being able to fuel yourself so you could be able to be more productive, you want to check out our events, okay? You can go to the events and get access to our Creating Balance to Elevate Mindfulness event that we have coming up. All right, let's continue to wrap up with these 8 major keys. So far we talked about 1, use your fuel as fire. 2, keep uplifted, have an attitude of gratitude. 3, ditch the self-made mentality. 4, build your network by aiming high. 5 is make health your priority. It will fuel you, it will sustain you. All right. Number 6 is love up on your imperfections. You are perfectly imperfect for a reason, right? Your imperfections is perfect. So don't be afraid of that failure. Like I said, if you fuel your fire, you'll embrace the imperfections. Be able to use that as fire so you can keep going in the space of imperfect, so you could be able to grow, right? You could be able to find what works, and also just let go of things being perfect. As a recovering and continuously recovering perfectionist, that's something I often have to let go. Now, I think it's important when you grow, you build a name for yourself, a business for yourself. You want to make sure that you adhere to that. You do things with full intention, but focus more on the intention than the perfection, and really love up on the imperfections, love up on the things that you don't know, things that's messing up, acknowledging that, because it's helping you to be able to keep growing, keep winning, right? This is Women Winning Wednesday. Words of wisdom, right? These are things that's helping us to grow. Love up on your imperfections. 2 more. Accept challenges as your norm. Okay. Accept the challenges as your norm. Be open to the challenges because it gives you data, right? So in a way, I really spoke on failure in 3 ways, as far as use fuel as fire, love up on your imperfections, and then also accept the challenges as your norm. Be okay with it. Be accepting, be open. When we have our guard up trying to avoid the failures, trying to avoid things going wrong, that creates a lot of stress, anxiety, and overwhelm for yourself, right? And if you experience that, then I'll be able to show you some some spiritual practices and some breath work, some mindfulness practices on the 20. Let me get this date together. On the 21st, okay, I'll be able to show you some breathwork exercise and teach how the mind and your gut and your mind is connected, right? So this is where I talk about gut health in a different way, more and beyond than just nutrition. I speak about it in a way of your nervous system, stress, anxiety, overwhelm, and being able to use breath work to calm, to help to improve your mind, improve your gut health. And of course, I drop gems on, healthier ways of eating. So if you want to learn about that, again, get your ticket, go to hervival.co/events and grab your ticket to the Creating Balance event. If you are a Hervival Premium member, our members get complimentary access to those events, so you can learn more about our membership and be a part. All right, closing up with the last major keys. If these keys are really hitting home for you, I appreciate y'all who's still listening in. I'll see y'all. Queen Shami, thank you. Drop the keys in the chat if this is really resonating. So the eighth of the 8 major keys is to always connect to your why. Revisit your why. Like I said, we always have seasons, right? You have your winter, we have our spring, we have our fall, our summer. How could I forget summer? We have all these different seasons of renewal. So it's always important to kind of check back into yourself often to really resonate, because as we grow, our why may shift, right? It may expand. So always connect to your why. And when I'm going back to when I was in network marketing, one of my mentors always said, if your why doesn't really like hit in your spirit, it makes you feel emotional, it doesn't make you cry, then your why is not strong enough. You haven't digged in enough. So if you struggle, and I had to, my why never used to make me cry so much. Now it's different. And I had to realize, which is exactly why I created Hervival. As a Black woman who grew up with a lot of strong women, we're from New York, like we don't dig too deep like that. We don't have time. We got goals to do. We got things to do. Getting too emotional, digging too deep with that took up so much time and made us feel, I used to feel like it was weak to cry and feel all emotional. However, that was where the strength came from. And one of the things why we talk about in Hervival to revive, her revival is about her revival, reviving your mind, body, and spirit, and learning how to do that, creating spaces where you see other women who look like me, doing the work of that, pouring into those aspects of themselves and seeing them really grow and blossom like a rose from a concrete jungle. I had to learn how to do that. So I really struggled connecting to my why when I didn't know how to connect to my mind, body, and spirit and know how to revive in that capacity. So like I said, if you are really needing support in that way, go ahead, subscribe, learn more about Hervival, our community, and our membership. And we have a lot of really cool things that's happening. That Winter Awakening, we have a 7-day self-care challenge that helps to support you in that way. We got a lot of really cool things to be able to help you to revive your mind, body, and spirit. But the 8th key is to connect to your why. All right, connect to your why. Why are you doing the things you want? A lot of times people also get really stuck in finding their purpose. It's because you didn't really dig in to find and ask the questions. What are you here for? What are you born for? What's your purpose? Keep asking what's your purpose. Man, I remember the days I used to cry trying to figure out what my purpose. And my purpose is, I'm a healer. I'm here to help revive the mind, bodies, and spirits of women of color. I'm here to help and coach women to be able to prioritize their spiritual well-being, utilize gut health so they can be able to have a vibrant, healthy, and happy life. It took a lot of digging for me to find that, right? Because I often made sure I connect to my why. And I use these 8 keys, these 8 major keys to support myself with help. Okay. Remember, the 3rd key was to ditch the self-made mentality. I couldn't get here by myself. I had a lot of mentors, a lot of support, a lot of pouring into my spiritual team. God, really just paved the way and gave the space, the community, the support to continue to do that. So those are the 8 major keys to be able to grow. I hope that you really enjoyed it. Again, if you're watching the replay, share. Let me know what really resonated the most with you. Now we're going to go ahead and wrap up the words of wisdom with wins you want to celebrate. So the floor is open. If you want to raise your hand, I understand it's the middle of the day. Some people are at work. But Queen, if you want to raise your hand and come on up and share briefly in 30 seconds, what is a win for you? your win could have been like, I listened to this today. This really fueled me. For me, my win has been that I've been really staying adamant to making sure I hydrate. Wintertime is a challenging time for me to make sure I hydrate. So the ways I've been wanting to pour into myself is making sure I'm getting rest and sleep. The hours are a little off, so that's something that's an intention that I always want to work on. But I definitely been making sure I'm staying hydrated and also making sure I'm eating in my times that I save for myself. Running a business can be a lot, and it's very easy to skip meals. And that's one thing, especially when I speak about gut health. One of the things that really affects our gut health is skipping meals. So I fall off the bandwagon sometimes, and I've been very adamant with that. And that's a win that I want to celebrate myself with. And, I've been really utilizing my task list, writing out the things I need to do to focus on for the day. And that's keeping me focused. If anybody wants to share their wins, feel free to raise your hand or even just put in the chat. I'm going to hang out for a bit. But also, too, again, every Wednesday at 12 noon, we have these words of wisdom for Women Winning Wednesday. So one of the things, like when we started having the winning segment towards the end and making sure that we really curate a space to celebrate women of like, what's your win? When you come here, because we don't think about it, we think about everyone else, especially my black sisters out there. We always pour into everyone else, so we don't take the time to think about us and what we doing and what we got to do and what we winning and celebrating us, because we on to the next one, pouring into someone else. So if you're gonna keep hanging around here, make sure you be intentional to start thinking about, what are you doing? How are you pouring into yourself? You need support. Come on down to Hervival, to our community, and be able to be amongst and around that community, because my Hervivors already know that's how we do it, right? So we have our accountability and our support calls. We use the same framework as far as what's our wins, what's our challenge, and what's our intentions. And they already know, like, being in that community of like, okay, these are the ones I want to celebrate myself with. These are the challenges I'm having. This is my intention that I want to do, and having a community to support you on that. All right, that's my time for Words of Wisdom, Women Winning Wednesday. Again, I'm Lauren LC, your favorite gut health bestie and founder of Hervival, who is all about helping and supporting and coaching women of color on prioritizing their spiritual well-being and gut health for a vibrant, healthy, and happy lives. If you are looking for support in that area, again, to go to hervival.co.com. Hervival.co, learn more about us, subscribe to our newsletter for our wellness tips, learn about our events, and I will see y'all next Wednesday for Words of Wisdom. It could be me giving some gems. It could be a special guest coming in. It could be me sharing segments from a podcast, a book. You never know. Words of Wisdom is like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're going to get. Again, check us out every Wednesday. We're live here on Clubhouse under Black Girls Do. Again, shout out to Leah J. Follow the house on Clubhouse for Black Girls Do. They're also on Facebook. They have a Facebook group, so look up Black Girls Do. And then you can learn more as well about Hervival, like I said, by going to our website. We are live in multiple spaces. So we're live in our Hervival Facebook group, in our community, and on our YouTube channel. All right. So I appreciate everyone. Thank y'all so much. Again, I do watch the chat. We may be streaming in multiple spaces, but I'm seeing and holding down the fort. Shout out to Jazzine. I hope I said your name correctly. Thank you so much for the love, Queen. I see your comment. And y'all have a good one. I'll talk to y'all soon, and continue to keep flourishing. Practice those 8 major keys. Share this out if you know that this is helpful for others. Take care and see y'all next Wednesday.